So what I want to say for our two people that are inspired to be an actor, where do I get started? What do I do? I don't even know where to begin. The first thing I would say is to get on set as an extra, or help on a crew. No pay, just an intern, so you can get your feet wet. Know what words are, what terms are, what does back to one mean? What does all these terms mean? If you've never been on set and you're on there and you don't know when they say back to one, it's kind of a bad thing. So if you start off as an extra or just in the crew, if you want to do crew work, just to get familiar with the terms, and that will help you get started. Next, I would say is go for it. Pursue your dream, your passion. Let's go get them, right? I mean, you live one time, why not? Get out, do as many things as you can. Have a great time, meet people. It's fun, exciting. And when the project is done, that's the best feeling ever, because then you can go see it and be like, you know what? I was in that film. So go for it, go get it, follow your passion, and I'm here. If you have any questions, feel free to message me, feel free to send me a comment. Thank you so much. I enjoyed talking to everyone. Have a great day.
I'm not going to give you a speech about living your dreams, because if you have those dreams, you don't need any encouragement. But I will talk for a minute about working hard, because anybody who says acting isn't work has never done it. Of course, it's fun work. That's why we do it. But it is work. You have to go to the classes. You have to submit and audition. And you have to do the professional things that make you marketable, like getting headshots, good headshots, putting together a good demo reel, and keep at all of these things. And it involves making sacrifices. But you're never too young or too old. As long as you're still breathing, you can do the things you want to do if you want them bad enough and you're able to work it out in your own life. And if you want to make acting a career for your entire life, you're never too young to start. And every age in between, young and old, has that opportunity if they want it bad enough and they're willing to work for it. Of course, it starts with believing in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. So, that's all I have to say, and the light went out. So I think that is my cue to leave. Thank you for listening, and break a leg.
Some things that I do in my personal life are I cosplay, which gives me help with makeup and working with being a different character than what I am. I also do modeling, so that helps me work with different people all the time and not get used to the same people every day.
Let's see, some of the things that I do in my personal life that help me become a better actor is that I'm trying to do more of it. I haven't done a lot of it actually, but meditate. And when you meditate and you get yourself into a place, you're present, you're there, you have nothing else you're thinking about, really helps you in the acting world, because when you have to do this character, you can quickly go to a place where you're present because you've meditated and you practiced it. The more you practice, the better. And so when it's, okay, Lisa, become this crazy, serial killer, I can totally turn my mind off and become in the present, so that I can bring on this new role of this crazy person. So meditation, I think, is great not only for acting, but for everything. It calms the body, and it's just a great thing to do for yourself.
Listen. I listen a lot. I watch people a lot. I watch how people react to things a lot. And around the house, to be completely honest, I will be a different character like every 20 or 30 minutes. It's just what I do. And I'll try to emulate some of the things that I see out there. I'll try to emulate. And I also normally try to emulate. One of the things I always try to emulate is something that's exactly the opposite of the way that I normally think. I think that's the hardest thing sometimes for people to do, is to get outside of their own head and understand that people think differently than you, and because they think differently than you doesn't make them wrong. It might make them misinformed, it might make them misunderstood, but it doesn't necessarily make them wrong. Like, a case in point is like the evil characters and everything. I love the evil characters. I never get them, but I love the evil characters. The reason I love the evil characters is because they don't think they're doing anything evil. And that's what I try to look at, like, case in point, the Nazis. I don't know if you can say Nazis, but the Nazis didn't think they were doing anything wrong. I mean, they were, 100%, but to their core, most of them didn't think they thought that this is what they were supposed to be doing. So they did it with a sense of pride, and they did it with, now it was evil as crap, but that's what they did. So one of the things I do is I do a lot of reading, a lot of history, and try to see things from both sides of the spectrum all the time. Understanding that in the same situation, I might have acted just as unwisely as I judge these people to have acted. So I've got to strip that away. I've got to strip away that common misconception that this person is wrong and go, okay, so if I thought this was right, how would I do something? How would I think about this? And those are some of the things I do, just little exercises throughout the day to look at someone and go, yeah, I can see how they think they're right. I mean, they're wrong, but I can see how they think they're right. So those are some of the mental exercises I do during the day.
I think practice makes perfect. So always practice your craft. Always, every time you have the opportunity to take classes, to do a workshop, do it. Because that, we never stop learning. Learn from others. Every time that I go to watch a movie or a play, instead, I'm enjoying the play as an audience member, but I'm also an actor, and I'm sitting there and I'm studying, the scenes, the movement. So I'm always there. Do your research. Look for, work with other people that maybe with some fellow actors. Work with scenes. I'm also an acting coach who always tell my students, the more you do it, the better you get, and the more comfortable you get.
I try to be disciplined and consistent as I can. I can do better, so if you're watching this, stand in agreement with me that I will be even more disciplined and consistent in my physical training, spiritual, mental, emotional, every aspect of my life as I can possibly be, because it's a struggle for me with the physical training. I went from having a six-pack to eating a six-pack of whatever box of granola bars or snacks that I do buy. So I have to be more disciplined and consistent with my meal plan as well as my training plan. But as far as what do I do? Studying, being intentional about my time, being very, very, very dedicated. I think I could get annoying to the people that don't understand the walk of an artist or actor with my dedication. I set alarms. I do all kind of stuff to make sure that I am on point, on time, focused. Yeah. So that's what I do.
Well, the number one thing is making it a priority. And notice I didn't say the priority. We all have family, friends, houses that need taken care of, probably a job to go to or school. Acting, unless you're one of the lucky very, very few, isn't something you can just jump into and immediately start doing full time and paying the rent with what you make. You have to work up to that. So I go to a lot of classes and workshops, a lot of different acting teachers and coaches, learning a little something from each and a lot from a few. There's a lot of resources online. Talking to other actors is big too, networking, and just learning what you can from the experience of others, even watching videos like this. It's all very important. It's all pieces of the puzzle that come together. Also, as I study more, I think more about acting as a profession, as a business, but also the technique of it, for lack of a better word. I become more aware of how I talk and express myself, the words I choose, the cadence of my speech, my body language. But I also become much more aware of those things in other people. And I've become much more observant, and I make a lot of mental notes about what I see and hear in myself and in the people around me. And that helps to inform how I act, what I bring to an audition and a scene. I join those observations with everything I'm learning in my classes and workshops, and with a lot of hard work and practice, it does start to come together, and you start to feel like you're finally getting it. But you know you still have a lot more work to do, because nobody gets it perfect 100% of the time. So we all keep working at it.
This is a tough one. This is a very tough one because I like a lot of people. I like a lot of actors and actresses. But one of the persons that I really love, one of the actors that I really, really love and admire is Gael Garcia. He is gorgeous, but not just gorgeous. He's just very talented and very passionate about what he does. And I think he's just very, very unique. And I love the things that he accomplished. And every time that I watch a movie with him on it, I'm like, man, one day I'm going to be there with him. One day I'm going to play a character in one of his movies. Now he's a director and he's a producer, so which is amazing and very encouraging for us.
Well, if I could do it with one actress, I would want to do it with Helen Mirren. Because Helen Mirren is badass. Okay? There's nothing she can't do. And I mean, she's been badass forever. People are just noticing it now, but I mean, she could do things from, playing somebody regal to playing somebody in red to playing in The Debt, a Jewish Mossad agent. I mean, she's just incredible. Her range is friggin' phenomenal. If it were one actor that I could act with, wow. Well, he's retired now, but I would love to act with Daniel Day-Lewis. To watch him go through the process that he goes through that I've read about, the way he just becomes a character and is that character for the whole entire shoot. And he's not pretentious about it from what I've read, and he's not a jerk about it, but I would love, because he's just phenomenal. He's just a phenomenal actor. And he's so grounded and so matter of fact with the way he goes about his craft that I would love to watch that in action. I don't know if I'd be able to act across from him. I think I'd just sit there in awe the whole entire time. But that's probably the one actor that I would love to do a scene with, any scene.
Al Pacino. I'm going to speak into existence right now that I will do this scene, if not more than one, but at least one scene with Al Pacino within my career, within his career, within our career. Because I am infatuated with him as an artist, an actor. His delivery of these impeccable monologues in films is just like, I will be in a scene with Al Pacino. I'm just going to speak it and it's going to manifest because I love Al Pacino as an actor. I love him as an actor. I don't know Al Pacino as a man, but judging by the works that he has done, I'm sure he's equally as great in real life. I'm sure of it. You can't tell me no different. No, don't want to hear it. Just saying, I'm sure of it.
I'd say Harrison Ford. He is my all-time favorite actor. I'm not saying he's the best actor we've ever had, even though he is great. I'm saying that he's the whole package in terms of acting skill, versatility, entertainment value as a performer and in his movies. I would love to do a scene with Harrison Ford before he retires. So, watch out, Harrison. I'm coming for you.
I don't really pay attention to many, like, who plays a role. I just really like to watch the movie and understand the character, I guess. But I guess one person I do kind of pay attention to is The Rock. So I guess The Rock, he's also funny, so that works with my comedian side.
So if I could do one scene with any Hollywood actor or actress, I think I would say Lady Gaga. And I say that because not only is she an amazing actress, talented singer, I feel like she is true. Like she's a true person. Like what you see is what you get. And I don't see a lot of that with people in general, actors, actresses, people in general. And I really believe that she is humble and just true and is just a great person. And I love her. I would love to do a scene with Lady Gaga.
This is a loaded question. I feel that Texas has been undercut, and I think it's been undercut by its senators, and I think it's been undercut by its government. If you look at the incentives that are given in New Mexico, if you look at the incentives that are given in Louisiana or in Georgia, I mean, Georgia does actually more filming now than even LA does. The short-sightedness of the politicians have kind of destroyed the bigger budgets. Now, with that being said, I think some great stuff is still coming out of Texas. There's some phenomenal stuff actually that's in the works right now. I know that there's a movie being shot in Dallas right now that is going to be, from what I've heard, a great movie. There's a couple of pilots that I've been on. So I mean, it just makes it harder. I think the funny thing is I think actors from Texas, as well as producers from Texas, as well as DPs, lighting, grips, everything from Texas, I think that they work twice as hard because they have less to work with. They don't have as many acting studios nearby. They don't have as many grip unions or electrical unions, or and I mean we don't have to compete with that. Now there's a lot of shorts and a lot of indies that are going on all the time, but a lot of those are non-paid. And I actually this is all I do. All I do is act. That's it. That's all I do. I made that decision. I have the ability kind of to do that for a little while longer, and then I may have to look at getting a real job. But I think that's the problem at this point in time, is that even those small indies, and I want to say this, and I mean, I understand people work on budgets and they don't have any money and whatnot, but even if you're paying your actors or your grips or your DP or whatever, you should shell out $25 to them, or gas money or something. That's at least something. Okay, so I think everybody thinks when somebody's got to get paid, it's got to be in multitudes of dollars. Case in point, here's a severe case in point. I flew out to LA and did a feature film that's on deferred, and we all know what deferred is. And if you don't, look it up. But I didn't get paid, is basically what it says right now. But I read the script, and the story was so compelling that I used frequent flyer miles and I used hotel stay nights to go and film this because I thought it was such a great production. Okay. The only reason he was filming it out there is because he actually already had the warehouse, he'd already invested a bunch of money, and he wasn't paying work too. And I don't mind doing free work to an extent. What I mind is the same people asking me to do the free work all the time. There comes a point where as an actor you've got to say no. And I think the way that it can grow is that if we pool our resources, and we have so many connections, because I see the same people on sets all the time. If we pull all these connections together, I'm sure we can pool up some money to pay everybody something, It doesn't have to be hundreds of thousands of dollars. It doesn't have to be $1,000. I mean, it kind of depends on, what you're shooting. But I mean, pay them something. IMDb credit will only get you so far. Paying meals will only get you so far. And again, I don't fault anyone for that, but what I do fault some filmmakers for doing is doing it over and over and over and over and over. When you see the same person putting out a casting call and they have supposedly made 3 features and 7,500 shorts or whatever, and it's still no pay, that's the problem we have with the industry, is that we as professionals are not willing to say sometimes, hey, can you just give me $25? Can you give me $50? Can you give me gas money? Can you let me, just instead of just IMDb credit, do something like that. So I mean, that's where I think we can grow as a group, understanding that we are all in this together. We are all trying to create something, and that we all deserve to get some kind of money for that. Like I said, whether it be $10, $15, $25, a pizza and IMDb credit can cut it at times, depending on what you're doing. But if you're the person out there, and unfortunately I'm probably going to piss some people off because they know who they are. If you're that person out there that's just offering, pizza and IMDb credit for every single thing that you film, and you've filmed 17 to 20 features, and you haven't paid anyone, I mean, what you're saying is you don't value the actors, you don't value your crew, you don't value your DP. And if you're paying your DP, and I've been on these shoots, if you're paying your DP, then why aren't you paying your actors? And that's, I think, the mindset we've got to get. It doesn't have to be hundreds of thousands of dollars. It doesn't have to be some multi-billion-dollar contract from freaking LA. It can be something as small as $25, $50, $100. Cover my gas money, whatever. But that's what I think we need to do to grow, is we need to stop.
I feel like the Texas industry can grow in many ways, but also I think that the Texas film industry could have more big films or movies, because Atlanta and California and all the other places also have them, but I think it'd just be cool to grow more big things coming out,
Well, when my wife and I decided to settle in Houston and I was going to try my hand at screen acting, I had no idea, neither of us did, how many opportunities there are in the Houston area or within driving distance of Houston. I've done several projects in Austin and even a few in Dallas. Being a military retiree helps. I have the flexibility in my schedule to be able to go to those places and make those drives and build up my resume. But certainly there's room for improvement. At the top, the government officials need to decide to improve the tax incentives for Hollywood productions to come to Houston. But it also starts with people like you and me. By working hard at our craft, whether it's acting or being on a crew or writing, anybody that's involved in the entertainment industry here in Houston, when we work hard, when we produce projects that are of increasing quality, when there's a bigger pool of talent from which to draw, that will bring more Hollywood-type productions to Houston. So we all have a role to play.
See, so the way I feel about the Texas film industry right now and how it can grow, first of all, how I feel about it, I think Texas is amazing. I think that we have uber talent, not only in cast, but in writers and producers and cameramen and lighting people, the whole crew, the whole cast, the whole production. We have uber talent here. So I feel like Texas is great, but the way it can grow is that we need a lot more production here. I mean, I know we had a lot of stuff that pulled out because of the tax reasons or whatever. I do see lots of upcoming projects in Austin, San Antonio, Dallas, Houston, and we're making our own name here. Texas is bigger, right? So we do it big. And with us as Texans doing it ourselves, I think that we'll be able to establish a name for Texas. And hopefully that's going to bring on people interested in us and interested in talent as we put it out there. So we'll see. Let's see what happens. Let's go Texas.
I do feel there's a lot of talent here in Texas. There isn't as much work as I would like to see here. The quality of work, more union projects, more opportunity for us to expand and grow as artists right here in Texas. I also have educated myself in the business enough to know that it's also not the best film incentives for filmmakers here. So, yeah, I think we can make it better by being educated on and voting people into positions that have the ability to create a bigger budget or who are advocates of the filmmaking industry. So that they can vote in favor of the things we need to get projects here. I also feel like for the people that are filmmakers here and creatives here and actors here, that when we create opportunities, that we're more inclusive and building community with more talent and including more people outside of the close-knit cliques that we have. I guess that's a good way to say that. Yeah, so being more inclusive of the great amount of talent and utilizing more people in what we do create. And if we have the ability to create, just do it. Create. Use what you have. Because you never know who you may inspire, who may be inspired by something that you have done and have the resources or the ability to put it on a bigger platform or to create something on a greater aspect with it. So, yeah. So if you have the ability to create, do that. With that being said, I will see y'all at work.
Well, I think we do need more opportunities, to be honest with you. I know there's a lot of opportunities for us actors to go to Austin, Dallas, San Antonio. But hey, Houston, we're here. There's a lot of talented people here. I know a lot of talented dancers, singers that live here in Houston. And I think to help it grow is if we all work together. It's really hard to do that because everybody wants a part, and I understand that. We all want that. But I think if we work together, to bring projects or to bring up new ideas, I think that will be a great opportunity, to put Houston in the map as, regarding film. Instead of us driving all the way to Austin, which is amazing. Don't get me wrong. I love Austin. It's always fun. But I would love to see a little more opportunities here in Houston. So, trust us. We're here. There's a lot of talented people here. So writers, please, producers, help us out here. Okay, well, thank you very much for this opportunity, you guys. I hope you guys enjoy. Bear with me. This is my first time doing a video and taping myself. So anyways, I had a lot of fun. Thank you guys and hope to see you guys soon.